In this video, we're going to look at Learning Objective A, evaluating powers. But before we do that, let's talk about some vocabulary. What a variable is. So a variable is a letter that represents a number. A lot of the times you might see, for example, they'll say let x equal 2. So x is called the variable and 2 is the number. The value is the number used to replace a variable. So again, in our x equals 2 example, x is the variable, 2 is the value. An expression is an example of something like this. An expression is made up of three things. It's a collection of numbers, variables, and what we call operations. Operations are the plus, minus, times, and divide type of symbol. Terms, if I take a look at this particular expression I wrote, 2x plus 1, the terms are the elements being added or subtracted. So when we look at, again, 2x plus 1, there's two terms. There's one thing being added and to another thing. So one term is 2x, the other term is 1. Factors is a vocabulary word we use, and that tends to be, for example, maybe what are the factors of 36, someone might say. Well, one factor is 9 and 4. What it is, they're elements being multiplied. So if I say these two numbers are factors of 36, it means if I multiply 9 and 4, I get 36. The quotient is, for example, when we do division. So if I did 36 divided by 9, the quotient would be 4. What we do is we do the numerator divided by the denominator. So remember, the numerator is this top number, the denominator is the bottom one. So using that vocabulary, this question is, how many terms are in this expression? Again, this is called an expression because it's made up of variables of x and y, numbers, and operations of plus and minus. How many terms are there? Well, there's 1, 2, 3 things being added together, so there's 3 terms to it. Now, sometimes in an expression, it might be made up of powers. And what a power is, for example, is like 3 squared. That's considered a power. And that would be what it looks like. It is made up of what we call the base and the exponent. Now the base is the big number that's on the bottom of it, or the base of it is that. The exponent is always the little number in the upper right-hand corner of it. Be careful in what it means. It means to do this number that many times. So it's not 3 times 2, which is 6. It means do the 3 twice. So I would do 3 times 3 and get the number or answer is 9. So look at these two. If someone asks you to write 7 cubed, which one of these 3 choices is 7 cubed? Well, the right answer is this, because this is 7 3 times is what it means. It's 7 cubed. For the next one, if you had to write 16 times 16 times 16 times 16 as a power, which one of these 4 represents it properly? The right answer here is A. There are 4 base numbers of 16. Let's evaluate some of these powers. So the first question is, what is 4 cubed? Again, be careful, it's not 4 times 3 of 12. It means do 4 3 times. If we multiply 4 3 times, you're going to get 64. Number 2, they want us to do the base of -3 twice. So I'm going to do -3 twice, and I multiply. If I don't remember my property of multiplying, just use the calculator. -3 times -3 is a +9. Number 3 you have to be careful of. this little exponent of the 3 is only touching the base number of the big 3. This negative is just kind of floating out there. So I'm going to keep the negative out there, and the only number I'm going to repeat 3 times is the base of the 3. So I'm going to do 3 times 3 times 3. That negative is sitting there. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and that's our answer. Now, be careful, though. If on number 3 I had in parentheses that, then I would repeat negative 3 times. Okay, number 4, I have to do the base number 2 one time. If you do the base number 2 one time, you get 2. There's no difference.